This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
I give great credit to Liberty University. One, just the outstanding support that I think the families and young men feel when they come on campus, and Christy Bites and her staff academically do an incredible job with our families when they get here, as do all other aspects, and our university shows very, very well. My message was very simple to all the families in the short amount of time I had after the Christmas break to try to convince kids in a short amount of time to join us was come and see. And the ones we were able to get on campus, we batted a very high percentage in filling our needs, and also getting people that we think can make a difference on the field and be wonderful student athletes here on campus. So our coaching staff, I love them. I think we've got a great staff, and they did a tremendous job of something that I believe strongly in, is that coaching is it's not your purpose. It's just your platform to which you can live out your purpose. And I think our staff gets that, and I think it's why we had success today in our signing class, our second signing season of this class. So Mason Knight, a guy that we desired early on in the process. We're disappointed we couldn't get him signed in December, but he's a very mature kid. He and his mom, Miss Tiffany, are just super people, and they wanted to take time to go through the process even more, trip some other schools, and we were able to, that the rules allow for us to get him back for a second visit with the coaching change, and we're able to convince him that this is a home for him. He's a guy that we think can step in and play in the offensive line next year. Demario Douglas, we think Florida is very critical in our recruiting efforts moving forward. We're going to be heavy in that state, and to get a kid like this off of a state championship team, he scored 4 touchdowns in that game in a great league in Florida, I think is just strengthens our wide receiver room for days to come. Micaiah Overton, you know, his mom Eunice is just they're a wonderful, wonderful family. One of the most disciplined kids that I've ever recruited. I mean, this guy, he gets up every morning at the crack of dawn and gets his things done, takes care of his business, and he's one of those kids where you watch his film, you're just thinking, man, the ceiling for this kid could be really, really special. And I've signed some kids like that in the past, like an Evan Ingram, who had very few offers, if any. I think we ended up only being his one Division I offer when I was at my previous school, and the guy was a first-round draft pick. And I see this guy with that same type of potential. He's a great move-type guy for us offensively, which I like to use a lot. So thrilled that it was not easy. A lot of schools came in on the end for him, and phone was blowing up his whole visit here, and it was a fight. But again, they left this place feeling at home, and we're able to get them across the finish line today. William Green, defensive line, huge body. One of the first things I noticed, we need some length here defensively, especially. He adds that to us. Wonderful kid. Love his mom, Deidre. She was awesome on her visit also, and thrilled that we could get him to join us. Trey Clark, a guy that we got on real late, had many group of 5 offers. Our coaches did an outstanding job on this one. We convinced them to split their last visit on the last weekend to come spend Sunday with us here. And I think we've got to also do well in Virginia, and particularly in the Richmond area, in the 757 area, and up in northern Virginia. And to get this young man out of Richmond, I think is a big home run for us. Thrilled with him. Malik Caper, linebacker out of Texas, the previous staff, did an outstanding job, at that school, building relationships, and thrilled that we could add him to our linebacker core there. Elijah James was a fight. a great battle. I like those in recruiting as long as they go our way. But that one went into the wee hours of the morning. James is his stepdad and kind of the champion of he and the mom, the champion of this recruiting process. And another guy that we're talking, he's 6'5", and I think he weighed in at 294, and he looks like he weighs 270. And that's the kind of bodies you really want on that defensive line, that are athletic-looking guys. So we're thrilled to have him. And then Tavion Land, better known as Tank. A 4-star recruit out of the 757 area code that had many Power 5 offers, and really I happened to be in the school junior recruiting the day that we found that maybe we have a shot at this kid, and ended up I was driving to the airport and got the call that he did have an interest, so I reversed field and went back and spent the rest of the day there. And then by the time the night had hit, we had Coach Hundley and Coach Simons over there too, and we worked hard the last 2 weeks on getting the Miss Jessica and Detron, his mom and dad, incredible people. And that's another big Virginia get for us, that I think between him and Trey, feel really, really confident that our corner positions for future here are in good hands.
Coach, of the guys that are on this list today, how many of those do you see being able to come in here and compete right away in the fall?
Well, to me right now the depth chart is etched in sand. So I think one of the advantages of coming in with a new staff is the fact that we have no preconceived notions. Obviously, coming out of spring ball, we'll have some idea of kind of where we stand, but we're going to play the best kids, and I do think we've upgraded our talent pool with these 8 kids, and we'll find the ones that are ready to compete. I love the fact one of the great new rules I think that's good for these kids out of high school especially is that they can play in up to 4 games, and that gives you kind of a chance to kind of see where they stack up. But I think all of them have the ability to do so. You always have to judge that with where the room is and what's wise for the program moving forward. If you're really deep at a spot and you think that you can steal an extra year, you want to do that, but I think all of them have the ability to do so. But I definitely feel like, between William and Elijah and Mason, those are guys that have had some experience, and they make our team look different getting off the bus, and so you kind of hope that they can come in and play.
Getting a guy as highly rated as Land, especially in Virginia, as you mentioned, how crucial is that, not just to him as a player, but just to your future endeavors in recruiting, getting somebody that highly rated?
I don't think you can overstate the importance of it. We really feel like we have to improve our efforts in Virginia, and there's certain areas in this state that have produced great talent year in, year out. And there's no reason why, with us moving to FBS and us having the facilities that we're going to have, there's no reason why we're not a logical group of 5 choice, and even in some cases we might upset the apple cart and beat some Power 5s on those kids in this state. So I think it's very important.
You said back in the December signing day you wanted to focus this part on offensive, defensive lines and shore those up. When you were going through the recruiting and getting guys like Tavion and Trey, did you realize that with roster management and everything, you wanted to get the best players and then let the offensive line and defensive lines work themselves out?
Yeah, I wish I could say that it's exactly the way I want it numerically right now in roster management. It's just a little skewed, but it's hard to pass up really good players. And we did not fill everything O-line and D-line, but we have 2 scholarships left. That will be the target moving forward, is who's available in the transfer portal world or just the transfer world, or who might become available late that would fit those. But we certainly, those 2 spots would be looking toward O-line and D-line.
What do you feel like this says about your staff in such a short period of time, the job they are able to do in and really selling the place that maybe they hadn't even been on the ground here that much during this past month and a half?
What I told them this morning was I think we will crush it next year. That's how confident I am in the staff and what I saw them do and how well they work together and how the place shows itself on a recruiting weekend and the support of the administration on every weekend, whether it was one kid or 8 kids. I mean, everybody gave the same focus, same effort in showing who we are at Liberty, and I'm real confident. Give us a year, and it's going to even be better because of what I witnessed.
How does this group of kids make Liberty better today?
Just a talent pool. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. I mean, we have great things here, and obviously I believe this place is special because of the people and because of the mission and because of our beliefs. It doesn't mean that everybody is on the same scale of everybody else right now, whether it be spiritually or whether it be athletically or whether it be socially or whether it be academically. But bottom line, when we play Syracuse in week 1, you want to have a roster that has depth on it of talent, and there's no question that we upgraded that.
Since we last spoke with you, you did make one change in your on-field staff, bringing in
Bruce
Johnson from Indiana. Well, what do you like about bringing him in to fill in Mike Brown's role at running backs coach?
Yeah, like I said in the last time I think we spoke, that is the toughest part of transition for probably any head coach. I know it is for me because it tugs at your heart, and you find good people where you are, and you left good people where you came from and from your past, and but there's just there's something about having someone you've seen in action. You know the energy they're going to bring. You know the determination. You know that when you ask them to do something, it's going to be done to a certain standard. And that's certainly not to say that others couldn't do that job. But man, Bruce is a home run. Once you get to know him and see him, his energy that he brings in the building every single day is incredible. And man, parents and kids alike are drawn to him.
How pleased are you to get past recruiting and move on to the rest of your job?
Yeah, you have no idea. I'm ready to get to know the names of our players, and can't wait for spring ball. We started install this week, and I just loved it. I could have stayed up here all night. Some of the coaches probably thought I just was ready to go, and just can't wait to start we get to start some of those individual workouts tagged on to our strength program next week, and just start to get to know our kids and get to know who they are and what they're about and what makes them tick and how I need to coach them and where we need to improve. And so I'm really excited about moving forward now. However, recruiting never stops. So.
You mentioned with Tank Lynn, it was almost a thing where you had to kind of turn the car around and go back to get him. Have you ever had a situation like that before, and just kind of, I guess, describe how that played out?
Yeah, I've had a lot of situations in recruiting that were somewhat similar probably, where you just have to say, I got to get a flight to somewhere else, or I'm turning the car around and I need you call back to the office and say, we got to push something back because I'm going to be here a while, trying to see if this is real or not. And I was able to get in that home, that afternoon, and I think I was the first one in the home since his recruitment kind of opened back up, and others followed us. But it's always good to be the first face in there, and we were able to. I think that was a blessing that we were able to do that. So then getting them on campus was good because they only had one weekend left, and we got it, and that was big.
With a recruitment like that, with someone, he posted on Twitter that the university accepted him for who he is. When you have a kid who has that many P5 offers that had already verbally committed to other schools, what did you sell him to Liberty, or did you just get to know him and figure out what he needed here at Liberty to help him ease his mind in terms of
that would take some speculation on my part. Exactly. We just presented who we are And this place, what it presents for him and the opportunity that it presents at a place that his family can be a part of it because of proximity and the fact that, we've got a chance here to do some things that have never been done before, not because others couldn't have done them, but just because of the move and moving to FBS and full-fledged this fall and him being a part of that in his home state. We're not a pressure staff. But we're persistent, and I just think we really covered him up and his mom and his dad from that point throughout the recruiting process, and it kind of made him feel like, they're really with me, and that would be my speculation.
I think I saw Elijah James had an SEC offer as well, if I'm not mistaken.
He was committed to Kentucky for a while, and I think he, being a late out junior college kid, helped us. Most of those kids tend to sometimes get out at that December period, and when he didn't, I think it caused – I can't say if Kentucky went another direction or what exactly happened, but we're thrilled that it ended up with us getting him.
I'm not sure how much you've looked into the roster going forward for this season, but losing starting left tackle there, is that a place you could see Mason Knight maybe plugging in?
We hope that he's competing for it. That's kind of our plan. And day one when he gets here is he'll be slotted somewhere, first team, second team, third team, I don't know, but that's where he'll start at.